Good day everybody, welcome to my Cherri Bomb Hazbinhotel cosplay tutorial. This will be part 1 since this video is kind of long and it will be dedicated solely to the wig. I will link the other video to the other part of the tutorial in the description and the eye information dot above. To start off with, you're going to need 2 wigs, one to style with and one to splice. Next, you're gonna take your splicing wig and you're gonna flip it inside out so that way you get all the wefts that you feel would be needed for this project. I took out probably about half of this wig, so take your time. One by one, you pull each strand and break it until you get, again, as many wefts as you feel would be comfortable for you until they're all out. Then after you get all of your wefts out, one by one you're just going to comb them through just so any knots are out. And now we're going to work on the base to help straighten that out. Alright, with our base, we're going to run her under some hot water here and leave her there to straighten out until all the fibers are straight. Then, after the fibers are nice and straightened out, we are basically going to let her sit overnight and air dry. And here's her the next day, all nice and aired out. And from here on, we're going to take the wefts that we combed out, attach them to the wig head, and basically, we're going to run them under hot water the same way we did with the base. Run them under hot water, dry them out, and let them air dry as well. And after all your hair pieces are dried, you're going to basically go in between each part of the wefts of your base wig and attach the weft you took from your splicing wig with some pins. With this next part, you can sew or glue down the wefts, but I decided to sew. Really, I did both. You basically sew the weft at the beginning on the ends of it, and then you can honestly just glue the insides of the inner parts of the wefts to the netting of your base wig. But if you want to sew, you can definitely just hand sew it together, that way it's less likely to come off, but I didn't trust myself with sewing, so if you take just good old-fashioned fabric glue, it'll work. And this is what the wig looks like with the current amount of wefts that I had taken out. Later on, I took out some more wefts from my other wig and attached that to her as well, and you'll see that in the next frame. One word of caution: if you do use the gluing method, just make sure you keep the wig attached to the wig head. That way when you glue the fibers on, it'll be nice and still, and like I said, you just leave it attached to the wig head until the glue dries. And then it'll look just like this. My apologies for this next part being so dark, but basically for the coloring part of this section, you're going to take a simple highlighter in the color pink, and you're going to color all over the wig until it's the gradient that you want. I've seen many different forms of Cherri Bomb art, and her gradients can be really different, so it really depends on you. And this is what my wig turned out to be after about a couple days of coloring, and I love how the color came out. It popped exactly how I wanted her to look. And now we will get ready to move on to the next section. Next, you're going to take a piece of styrofoam. I sadly don't know which type of styrofoam this is. I'll just say it's very sponge-like. But basically, you're going to take about a 4-inch block, and you're going to, a little bit at a time, just round off each corner until you make a sort of teardrop shape. This teardrop shape will help you benefit later on when we get the actual hair onto the ponytail, as you'll see later on in the tutorial. But yeah, like I said, just add a little bit at a time. Just cut off each corner and make it as round as you possibly can. And as you're cutting it off, just make sure that you leave the two, I'll say smaller sides of the teardrop as flat as you can, because you're gonna want that shape when you put the ponytail together. I didn't film this next part, but this is going to be the base of your wig ponytail. But basically, you take 2 pieces of Warbler, cut them in strips, and heat them up with a heat gun, and you're going to attach it to the back of the wig head, so that way it opens up when you put the ponytail on. And the screw is just another piece of Warbler wrapped around and attached with heat to the base. Next part of the tutorial, you're going to be taking apart your ponytail if it has a clip, like mine. So basically you release the elastic band at the bottom of the clip, and that'll release the rest of the elastic and the hair to where you're able to pull it off of the sleeve of the ponytail. After you pull the sleeve off of the ponytail, you're basically going to take the foam that we've made earlier, and you're going to wrap the ponytail around that piece of foam. And later on I'll teach you guys how to put it around the screw. But for now, I had to do some more adjusting to the foam, so do that as you please. Like I said, you never know how much you'll need, so if you can, leave as much space, do a test with your ponytail, and see how it looks. After you get your ponytail all nice and wrapped around, you make a small knot. And basically you're going to be tucking it underneath on the inside, so that way the strands aren't poking out. Then you take the rest of the hair and comb it over. And then I will show you how to get the ponytail to fit along the base that we made earlier. Before attaching to the base, you're basically going to make a small incision in the netting of the ponytail, and that's basically where the screw is going to go. So you take your screw, push it into the ponytail, and it's going to make a hole in the foam that we made earlier, and that's how your ponytail fits on. And to get your hairs all nice and straight to where they won't be flopping all over the place, take some fabric glue and some water, just a little bit. You take the end of your ponytail. After you mix it together, take the end of your ponytail, put it in the water, just dab it a little, and you're basically going to just slather it around until your ponytail is nice and slicked down to where all the fibers, at least towards the center point, I'll say, are nice and slicked down and not all over the place. Then you're gonna take your dryer and you're gonna put it on high, and you're going to heat it down until your fibers are nice and still. This does take a while. It took me about 20 minutes, so take your time. Just make sure that wherever you want the fibers to be glued down, that they're staying down. And if you need to add more glue, then do that as necessary. Next is the coloring portion of our ponytail. With the same method that we used for the base, you're just going to take a pink highlighter and highlight wherever you feel you need it to be pink. And like I said, you can do this in as many different gradients as you want, because her hair has no defining like gradient amount, so do this as you please. So after you do your ponytail, you're going to do the same thing to your base wig. Cut a hole where the base of the ponytail is going to go, and basically you're going to put that in from the inside, so that way the nail will stick through the back of the base in order to attach your ponytail to it. Then after you get your nail through the back of your base, you're going to basically test out the ponytail, see if it fits correctly, and after that you're just going to take some nice simple hot glue, fill the inside of your ponytail if you feel it's the right position and in the right spot, and you're going to hold it there until it's nice and still to where your ponytail won't move at all. And that, my friends, is it for part 1. I hope you enjoyed this part of the tutorial. Keep a lookout for my second half of this tutorial, and I will see you guys soon. Any questions? Leave a comment below.